my name is Belinda Dubston and welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our first weekly overview for August, the 1st of August 2022, followed hot on the heels of our August monthly overview. So if you've missed it, just remember to go back and watch the August overview to set the scene for the whole month. Okay, so as we get into this week's episode, really interesting stuff for us to focus on this week. As we think back to last week and we think about this Hexagram 29, the abysmal, leaping off, the flows, we were asked to pay attention to what are the things we keep on repeating, kind of the patterns that keep us locked at the bottom of the abyss. And we also had the return of Hexagram 3, difficulty at the beginning and sprouting. So what was your week like for you? What were you asked to jump off? What cliff were you asked to jump off and plunge into the flow of life? Where did you face your fears? Where did you let go? And where did you lean into the change that is guiding you forward? Firstly, I am over with all these chickens, really intense the last few weeks with all these eggs hatching all over the place. Really, really crazy, but really awesome to have this new energy bursting into our lives. And one of the things I thought about how important it is to take these changing lines, for example, like the one we had last week of what are the repeated patterns we keep on doing over and over that gets us locked into the bottom of the abyss, trapped, and turn it into a question that you can reflect on for the week. And that's what I did. I kept on asking myself, what are my patterns? What are the things I keep on doing that gets me trapped? And what happened for me is I had an insight around what do I keep on doing that is not what I thought it was. Okay, so when we work with these changing lines, they become little coaching questions, as it were, things for us to reflect on and turn into questions that can help us really unpack some issues that we need to deal with. Okay, so whatever happened for you, if there's something that's tied to jumping and leaping and going with the flow and overcoming your fears and more eggs hatching, please do share that in a comment. Right, so let's get into this week. Really interesting. So our first hexagram for this week, this first focus point that the I Ching has brought to us as we start off August, the 1st of August 2022, is hexagram 9, the small accumulates or the small tames. This hexagram is all about how the little things can help us or can stop us from moving forward. Okay, depends on how we look at it, depends on how we perceive the things that are influencing us. So the little things come to cause us headaches, and the little things, if gathered in and cared for, bring us bigger blessings. So when we think about this, we think about the example of farming, where every little plant that we put in has to be cared for and looked after. It's not the one plant that gets us the jackpot, all right, that makes us a millionaire. It's the fact that we keep on putting one plant in after another, that we look after each plant, we water it, we give it food, we obviously give it sunlight, or sunlight comes, and so every little plant gets looked after. And what happens is, as a result of all those little plants, we have a crop that we can take to market and that we can sell. So this week our attention is drawn to stopping our urge to push and surge forward, to, with energy and gusto, to voomer ourselves forward, right? To push through barriers. This week, our attention is drawn to all the little things that are holding us back. The little things that need attention, that if done well, accumulate to the great. So we might find this week that our attention is sucked into lots of little things. So it might feel overwhelming as a plethora of diverse and disconnected things come and slam. So if you feel that, just take time out. See that it's the little things that are coming in a torrent, that we need to deal with. We just need to, get ourselves together and we need to focus on giving every little thing its due. When we approach a week like this, where we say to ourselves, right, the small stuff doesn't matter. I'm after the big thing, the one big project, the one big goal, that is not going to help us this week. We have to look after every little thing. in my mind, I have this kind of idea of, every single invoice that you're invoicing a customer, or your admin, all the little projects, all the little details, all the undone admin things that need to be cared for, that all come up and all need to be done at the same time. This is the kind of energy I see with this. And so our task is to give everything what it needs. Okay, this too shall pass. But what we do by doing that is we realize and we recognize and we give energy to the fact that the little things are important. Okay, because they accumulate to the great. Right, so let's go have a look at our changing line for the week. In changing line position 2, okay, only one changing line for this week. And this changing line we have had before, and it says we are pulled back onto the path of where we should be, like a dog with a leash is pulled back by its handler. Okay, all right, so how an animal or a dog is pulled. No, you may not go that path. You've got to go this path. Okay, shrink. All right, suddenly out of the blue, we get pulled in spite of ourselves from one path to the other. And so what this really talks about is if you are off your path this week, let's see what happens for you. Let's use this process as a evidence-building experience of life. If you are off your path or you've gone a little astray as to what you should be doing, the leash pulls you back, okay? So the forces of change says, no, you've gone too far off your path. You're off on another side little mission. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to focus on this path. This is where you should be. If you feel yanked back onto the path, you know that you've dwindled a little bit, okay? And what that means is that the forces of change want you to be in a particular place. And so the blessing of this week is that there's a course correction, okay? It might feel like that course correction is coming from outside of you, all right? It might feel like an external force that's bringing you a bit of a surprise, because if you are that animal walking along and suddenly the leash pulls you from path 1 to path 2, wow, that is a big surprise. And so we just stay open. We stay open to what are the things happening around us. If there's a sudden unexpected development or a sudden twist in the plot, as it were, let us just say, okay, this is the leash pulling us back onto the path. We have strayed off and it's just a course correction. This is not the end of the world. This is not a drama. This is a course correction. I'm being helped to get back onto where I need to go, and I have dwindled and got a little bit lost. Okay, I've wandered off the path and the universe, whatever it is got me back on. Okay, see the blessing even if it's challenging. And of course, what we can do is we can support this process by being conscious of where we feel blocked or where we feel the flow is not happening, and just staying open to learning and to seeing the truth of where the door is closed, where we're pursuing a path that is not ours and we've lost our way a little. Okay, so if this happens for you this week, where you get a sudden surprise of the leash is dragged forward, just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't realize I was off the path. I've had a course correction. I'm back into where I need to be. No matter what has happened, it's trying to help me get to where I need to be next. Okay. And then our second hexagram for this week, very interesting, is hexagram 37, the family. So if you've watched the monthly overview, you'll know that our second hexagram for the month is hexagram 37, the family. And for our first week, we have this energy as well as our second hexagram. Okay. So I really do encourage you to go and watch the monthly overview to get that context. This hexagram is all about looking after and working well within the group, the tribe, the clan that we live with or we work with. Okay, so it can be a work family as a team. It can be our home family. It's the hearth, the home, the place where we go to regenerate and rejuvenate and to find peace and happiness. And so our focus for this week is reconnecting with the home, reconnecting with supporting a harmonious, working together with other people, working together in the home space. Perhaps there are family issues that, triggered by this monthly overview that we need to pay attention to. And this is really about making sure that everybody in our family knows their role and works towards fulfilling their responsibilities, to be held accountable and to do their bit to look after the family. It's like a family where everyone has a list of chores, and all those chores get done, and we all work to support the functioning and the harmony and the happiness of the home. Okay, so that's the idea. Whether this is a work situation where in work everybody understands their roles and responsibilities, no one's out of kilter in terms of their position and where they are in the team, that we all work together to create a harmonious whole, and we tap into this harmonious energy as a way of moving forward and achieving something with the week. Okay, so a really interesting energy for us to work with for this week. All right, so thank you so much. Please do go and check out the monthly overview, and I look forward to getting stuck into August with you as we focus on the flows of change taking place around us and what it is that we need to pay attention to. Please like, share, and subscribe. Join us on the socials, and of course, I look forward to seeing you soon.